Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Dapper Dividends. I'm Russ. We're going to get into the portfolios and what happened. But first, something truly amazing just happened to me. I was outside sledding with my daughters. We have a nice hill in our backyard, makes a fantastic sledding hill, pain in the butt to cut the grass on in the summertime. It started to snow, and I happened to catch some snowflakes in my hand. I don't know how long it's been since you've looked at a snowflake, if you're somewhere that it does snow. They are truly amazing. My daughter thought I hurt my hand or something, so she came over. Dad, what's wrong? What happened? I showed her, look at this snowflake. Look how amazing that is. And she thought it was really cool. So there were the two of us standing in the snow, looking at this itsy bitsy little snowflake. It truly is amazing how some of the most wonderful things are all around us that we take for granted, and we don't take time to just stop and observe the beauty and the wonder in the world. Anyways, let's get into the portfolios and what we did this week. So I'm going to tell you about two of them I have, and they're both in the description below. You can find the links to degrin.com, where I have both of my portfolios for you to see. Anytime, day or night, you want to check them out. Every time I make a move, I will shortly upload them to there and adjust it. The Bridge portfolio is what we are building, so we can withdraw from that when work becomes optional for us, if we choose to, and we so wish to, because we will not be able to withdraw penalty-free from our IRA tax-advantaged accounts until 59 and a half. So with the taxable Bridge portfolio, we can start using that money to pay bills if we do deem necessary right now. That's the first one. The second one, I took a lump sum of $30K from a retirement portfolio and put it in at Schwab, and that is the SD, the self-directed IRA. So let's see what happened this week. $27.30 from AbbVie. $3.16 from Procter & Gamble. Do you know that those AbbVie is so nice? That is just a cash machine. One of my favorite dividend stocks. So that paid us $30.46. Bunch of buying, a whole lot of buying going on here. 2 shares of Leggett & Platt at $41.39. Now the yield on cost for that was 3.87%, gave us $3.20 of annual added income. That number on the end, that dollar amount, is the total of the shares for the whole year, what has been added. 1 share of Pepsi, buying 1 share a week till I get to $135.35, 3.18% yield on cost. Pepsi just increased their dividend, so now we get $4.30 from that one single share. 2 shares of Altria, ticker symbol MO. I just did a video on Altria and how I'm fascinated about them moving beyond smoking. We are literally watching an entity begin its adaptation for survival. As I pointed out, the first order of business for any organization or living entity, lest it be suicidal, is its own survival. Altria is no different, and they see the writing on the wall, and they're going to start moving forward with trying to eliminate or severely reduce their combustibles. $43.72, a whopping 7.87% yield, gave us $6.88 of annual added dividend income. 3 shares of Cisco, ticker CSCO, one of my favorite tech companies. I'm still confidently buying them. $46.15, 3.21% yield. So most of these I got lucky. They're over 3% yielding still. It's getting harder to find a high yielding company that's safe, solid, and secure. Unless you're Altria or AT&T, as you can see here, I've been buying plenty. $4.44 of dividend income added to our account. The 4 shares of AT&T, ticker T, $29.25 for a whopping 7.11% yield, added $8.32 of dividend income. Now, a lot of people will get hung up on the high earnings per share payout ratio, but not to worry. A lot of that is financial engineering with the earnings per share. What you would want to look at, and what I love to look at, is the free cash flow payout ratio, which is about 54-55%. So no problem for AT&T to maintain and continue growing that dividend, which they do have until the end of the year, or else they will lose their aristocrat status. Next, we got a share of Procter & Gamble. $128.50, 2.42% yield, the smallest yield of them all. $3.16 of dividend income was added. So with Procter & Gamble, they've been way up there, and basically at this point, they are a bond proxy. They are a super stable, secure, and safe, how many more S's can you say, dividend growth company. They are, again, basically a bond proxy in this yield-starved environment. Investors are just dying and thirsting for yield. So companies like Procter & Gamble do well. Now, when interest rates do eventually go up, usually dividend companies, people start selling out of them. So it's a great buying opportunity for us dividend growth investors. One share of Kimberly-Clark, ticker KMB, $130.50. Love them. They just increased their dividend. 3.49% yield on costs, almost 3.5% yield for a big blue chip company. $4.56 added, and one share of Merck, the pharmaceutical Merck, $74.64 added. It was 3.48% yield on cost. I get ahead of myself. $2.60, which all in all, after all that spitting at you, added $37.46 of dividend income. That is $37.46 that I will never have to work for again, that will keep coming to us, and not only come to us, but keep growing. It truly is building a money-making machine. The income breakdown, $19.36 per year. $161.40 a month, $37.25 a week, $5.31 a day, and 22 cents an hour. Still looking to hit that 25 cents an hour plateau. And what did we buy in the self-directed IRA portfolio? We bought nothing, not a zip zilch, nothing. Got dividends though. Got dividends? We got dividends from AbbVie. ABBV, $13, $3.16 from Procter & Gamble, old reliable PG. They have been around for a long time, since I believe the 1880s, and $13.13 from Realty Income. They are the monthly dividend company. That gave us $29.29. The breakdown on that, I did take a hit, as I'll get into the next slide. I did lose $86 of dividend income. We'll get to that. $1,305 a year, $108 a month, $25 a week, $3.58 per day, and $14.91 an hour. So why did we take a hit? Well, we took a hit because the covered call I sold was executed. What does that mean? In a nutshell, if you're not familiar with options, this is something that will take a little bit of time to get used to. So I have 100 shares of Altria. You need 100 shares of a company to be able to sell a covered call, because every contract, options contract, is for 100 shares. So I owned the 100 shares, so the contract I sold was covered by the 100 shares. I sold that at 34 cents per share, so I got $34, and it was for the 43.50 strike that expired on the 19th. They did close above that. The shares executed. I was paid $4,350, and I get to keep that $33.35 minus the 65 cents commission that goes to Schwab. I keep that no matter what. And if the shares closed at $43, I would have kept my 100 shares and the $33.35. When you receive that premium, you keep that no matter what. So I will be looking to sell a cash secured put for Altria. Here you see on my shopping list. I am going to sell tomorrow on Monday one option contract of Altria. The cash secured put is the opposite of a covered call. This is going to be sounding difficult to you if you're not familiar with options, but somebody will pay me for the right to buy 100 shares of their Altria if it goes below my strike price. So we'll fill you in on what I did then later in the week. And then Lockheed Martin, I'm going to buy one more share because their ex-dividend date is coming up, which I will show you in the next slide. I'm going to buy my weekly share of PepsiCo. It's just become a ritual and a habit. Got to do it. I don't drink Pepsi. I do eat Quaker Oats, which they own. And we will be doing that. And then with pocket change, hopefully I'll get another share of AT&T. I call that my pocket change shares because if I have 30, 40 bucks left over after all my buying, usually I'll go ahead and buy a share of AT&T. And then Realty Income, I may grab a couple shares in the self-directed IRA. Word to the wise, if you have the option, buy your REITs and hold your REITs inside of a tax-advantaged account because you will not pay income on those dividends. REITs are pass-through entities. 90% by law, in order to maintain the REIT status, 90% of their income must be paid out in the form of a dividend as a profit, but those are non-qualified dividends, meaning that you will pay your ordinary income tax rate on the REIT dividends. So if you can hold them in a tax-advantaged account, you will not be paying income taxes on those dividends, just more money to compound even faster, something I highly recommend. And why I am buying a share of Lockheed Martin, here we see I pulled this from NASDAQ. The ex-dividend date is February 26th, coming up here on Friday. Now, you cannot buy those shares on the ex-dividend date to qualify for the dividend on March 26th. You must buy before the ex-dividend date because X, meaning without, on that date is trading without the dividend. So come Friday, Lockheed Martin has to pay $2.60 out of every share to the dividend holders. So they will pull that from each share, earmark it. Therefore, the share price on Friday morning must open up at least $2.60 lower than it closed the night before. Let me know what you think. Expertise comes from the community. I love to hear from you. Anything you have, any questions, fire them at me. I want to hear it. Follow me on Twitter at RustyRam78. Check me out on Instagram at Dapper Dividends. I also have a podcast that I do when I get the chance to do it. Been crazy busy lately, but that's a good thing. I'd rather be too busy than not busy enough. And please, if you got help at any point in this video, help me out by walking and not running to tap the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. I thank you for being here, and I will talk to you in the next video.